guys, notice anything different about my face? It's the fact that I'm smiling because I'm so excited about today's topic, Hollywood's obsession with remakes. Are there any remakes that are better than the original? What's the worst remake of all time? We have a super cool panel here to give us the straight poop. He is the badass-in-chief at Badass Digest, Devin Faraci.
Hi, everybody.
You can hear him on his hilarious podcast, Jordan Jesse Go, Jordan Morris.
Where do I look to say hello?
Oh, you just did.
Great.
Before we start hammering remakes, which is really easy, what's a remake that you have a fondness for?
You know, I was saying this to you before, is that it's weird what even a remake even is anymore. Because my favorite movie of all time, since I work at Badass Digest, is The Wizard of Oz. And it really is. It honestly is. It's the best movie ever made. Depending on how we're defining it, it's a remake. Because there had been a silent version of the movie made previously. So is that really a remake? Going back to the same material twice can be a pretty good thing.
Jordan, let me ask you, what's a remake that you're a fan of?
One of my favorite remakes, and I think a really underrated remake, is the Death Race remake, starring Jason Statham. The 70s remake stars David Carradine and Sylvester Stallone. So it's a silly movie and it's pretty fun to watch, but the new one, they really take the premise of car battling seriously.
Nice.
See, I gotta disagree wholeheartedly on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the original is so much fun because the premise isn't about necessarily car battles. It's the idea that you're on a cross-country race and part of the point is to run pedestrians over along the way. So they have a point system that is literally 30 points for babies.
Over 75 years old, has been upped to 100 points.
There's a hospital, and they bring all their old people out into the middle of the street to get rid of them whenever the death race comes. So there's just a line of old people in wheelchairs.
That's amazing.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I think you may have talked me out of it. I think the Death Race remake could have used more elderly murder.
I want to bring up a remake that I'm a huge fan of, The Departed, which is a remake of the Hong Kong action movie Infernal Affairs. I had been hearing from people, oh, it's superior to The Departed. I disagree.
I actually agree. I like The Departed better than Infernal Affairs. I think Infernal Affairs is really good.
It's a tight story. It's really well constructed, well told, but it seems like just the mini version of The Departed, which has a lot more resonance, a lot more character development.
I'm not the f***ing rat, okay? I'm not the f***ing rat.
That's the thing, if you have the greatest living director remaking a movie, it's probably going to be a pretty good remake.
Another remake I'd like to throw out there, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. They didn't want it to be called a remake. It seems like a remake. It seems like this very much the same movie.
It seems like, and I think this is a good point, is that I think sometimes when remakes bite it, it's because they are just shot-for-shot remakes. Case in point, Psycho, starring Vince Vaughn. I think we can all agree that's maybe one of the worst remakes of all time.
Well, Devin, you had some thoughts on...
It's a terrible movie, but I really like what's being done there is that it almost feels like a punk rock statement about how dumb all this stuff is. It's almost like a prophecy for the era of remakes that were to come, and it was they're all going to be really maddeningly similar, and they're not ever going to be as good.
What would either of you throw out there as the worst remake ever?
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Really?
Dismal remake of Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
There are some who will argue that it's not a remake, but I think that it fits most of the parameters. It's the same characters, it recreates scenes, it goes through all the same motions, thematically it hits on a lot of the same beats. It's essentially the same movie all over again.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head off some Star Trek nerds in the audience. Technically, it's in a parallel universe. A pocket universe, if you will.
Correct.
See, because when the Romulans... Okay, sorry. I just had to do that.
Compared to Ricardo Montalban, I feel like Cumberbatch didn't chew the scenery enough.
I spit my last breath at thee.
Yeah, I think that a lot of times when people remake a movie, they don't want to be seen as being campy. Because obviously there's some things about these movies that we love that are campy. Death Race, Wrath of Khan. There's some great, hilarious, over-the-top stuff. I think people are so scared of being campy, they forget to have fun. And I think that the bad remakes are the ones that are just no fun.
Well, I think we're finally coming back into a period where people are not afraid to have fun again. I like the Marvel movies a lot because they're fun. Nobody has to be depressed the whole movie. We can have a good time. It can still be serious, but it's colorful and it's fun.
Jordan, any remakes that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think so. I'm cautiously optimistic about the Godzilla remake coming up.
Oh yeah, there hasn't been a bad one of those in our life. Oh wait.
Oh yes, there was a terrible one. Godzilla got killed by 2 planes, the world's most fearsome monster. Here's the coolest thing I've heard about the movie so far is that it's gonna be a plot where Godzilla fights another monster, and I think we haven't seen that in a long time from Godzilla. I mean,
not since Pacific Rim.
In Japan, yeah, I know. Not since his brief appearance. When are we gonna get monsters fighting each other? Those were robots, Hal.
Oops.
It's more fun when they're fighting other monsters.
They were technically mechs because robots are autonomous and mechs are run by people. I'm just saving you the internet hassle.
Yeah, right, I know. Look at us, a couple assholes who have never seen Evangelion.
Devin, you had another one that you wanted to mention?
Well, we live in weird times where we can have 2 remakes of the same movie happening in our lifetimes. And there's the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes remake, which is a piece of crap.
Yeah,
agreed. It's dismal. And then we have Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I liked a lot. And I think it really found its way to incorporate elements of the mythology. I'm a huge Planet of the Apes nerd.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the movie, but a lot of people would say Rise of the Planet of the Apes is a prequel.
Hal, I'm going to have to get real nerdy on you right now.
Oh, nerd
because
out!
Because technically, Rise of the Planet of the Apes is a remake of Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, the 4th film in the Apes series. And they had a sequel coming, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which I'm really excited about. Because it's a remake of the worst Planet of the Apes movie, Battle of the Planet of the Apes. And that's what you should be remaking, the bad movies. The ones that had a good idea, take that and make it better. And that's what they're hopefully doing with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and I'm really excited for that.
That kind of opens up, like, why do you do a remake? It seems like something like a Red Dawn, it's hot, young, people just in a vehicle that'll make money.
It's because Hollywood is so broken right now. The executives get to say, well, the original Red Dawn is a cultural touchstone. And when the movie flops, they get to go, I don't know, we all thought it was a good idea because everybody loves the original. And so it's this way of handing off blame. It's a way of playing it safe and cheap. And it's just, they're cowardly shitheads. That's why they're happening.
You've heard it here. Hollywood.
You're cowardly shitheads, unless you want to remake Tremors, which I would love to see.
Can you fly, you sucker? Can you fly?
What is your favorite remake of all time? Leave an answer in the comments section below. Best answer gets a Screen Junkies t-shirt. I want to thank my super cool panel, Devin Faraci, Badass Digest, Jordan Morris, Jordan Jesse Go. By the way, guys, I'm growing this formidable mustache in support of Movember and their men's health awareness campaign. To learn more about it, check out Movember.com. I'm Hal Rudnick. Hit me up on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. The Incredible Hulk returns, the TV movie from the 80s that is cheesy and terrible. Thor looks like he got his hammer at Home Depot.